born alive. They are put in the medical waste room. They are laid out on trays and they're covered with blankets. And every now and again, it'll be somebody's job to go in there and lift the cloth to see if the baby's died. And there's just these bodies, these babies who are just discarded there like the trash. So Louise Adsett, who's been a midwife of over 14 years, very brave woman, comes to this inquiry and she says, in my hospital in Queensland, babies are born alive and they survive their abortion and they're left to die. And she breaks down as she tells the story. She says some of them are wriggling and crying for hours, and she talks of a baby who survived for 5 hours in her hospital and was left to die. And then because of Louise's story, another midwife got in contact with me. I told her story on my YouTube channel, but did have to blur up her face and voice. But she told the story of babies in her hospital ward who just get discarded in the waste room and no one tells their stories. But she also said there was this other little baby at 28 weeks who the injection of potassium chloride happened, the baby was delivered dead, and the midwife held this little baby boy and he was perfect, and she just kissed him on the forehead and said, "I'm so sorry." And that just broke my heart to think of it. These beautiful young women who've gone into this vocational work because they care about babies and mothers, and they're being turned into killers by the system. There is technically a right to conscientiously object, but there is so much pressure placed on them to participate.
Babies in Australia are being aborted and then being born alive after these abortions and left to die. All of it is a human rights violation. Every baby, as they develop in their mother's womb, has a right to be safe from the violence of abortion. Abortion is not a woman's right or some kind of circumstantial help to women. No, abortion is the direct and intentional killing of an innocent human in their mother's womb. And when a society practices abortion, they often also do not object to infanticide, which is the next step to kill the child after birth. At Ember Advocates, we're fighting for a global end to abortion, where every country, the United States, Australia, every other place on the planet can be a safe place for babies in the womb. No child deserves the kind of treatment that was described by this podcaster. It is the responsibility of a nation to recognize its vulnerable members and to protect them from violence. We need change in our culture for hearts and minds to be transformed from pro-abortion to pro-life. We need women to receive pro-life resources so they feel supported to choose life for their children. And we need our laws to change so that they protect the innocent in the womb.